Welcome to Making a Difference with Father Frank. My name is Father Francis Pizzarelli. I'm a Montfort missionary priest from Port Jefferson, and I'm privileged to host Making a Difference. Have you ever thought of the gift of life, especially as it's expressed through our children? Have you ever thought of our children who have varying abilities and various talents and gifts and blessings? Today we're going to meet two extraordinary people who work with extraordinary children. I want you to welcome Susan Russo, who is the founder of the Teresa Foundation, and Kurt Murgo, who is one of the assistant principals at a very special place. Kurt, why don't you tell us the place that you're assistant principal at?
Sure. I work at the Children's Learning Center, which is a school for children 2 to 21, and we're affiliated with United Cerebral Palsy of Nassau County.
And what we'd like to talk about today basically are the children that the two of you love so much and work with. Susan, from your perspective as a mom of a child who has special needs, and Kurt, from your perspective as someone more as the teacher than as the bureaucratic administrator, who I know you love so much.
Thank you for that.
But I know you love more the hands-on and part of what has energized you, because we've had you on our show before, is really, watching these young men and women grow and become all that they can be. And so maybe, Sue, we can just start with you and maybe just talk about, well, how did you get involved in starting the Teresa Foundation?
Teresa was the third of our 4 children, and she was born severely handicapped, multiply handicapped. She had microcephaly. Essentially, she lived to be 5.5 years old, and she remained about the level of a 2.5-month-old. So it was like having a baby constantly. And our connection with Kurt is, Kurt was Teresa's teacher. When Teresa went to school, she went to the Children's Learning Center, and that is how we became friends and partners in crime. We both, my husband and I both feel very, very fortunate that we were able to find a school that was so appropriate for Teresa. And one of the things that I liked about United Cerebral Palsy was that the children were all treated like any other child in any other school. They were given every opportunity to try every activity that was available. Field trips, class pictures. It was an amazing experience for all of us, and I think it helped our family grow and learn also. We had Kurt for 3 years, I believe. You were Teresa's teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And when she passed away, about a year after she passed away, we started the foundation. The focus was to grant funding to organizations and families, children, in the areas of art, music, dance, and recreation. There's very little funding out there, especially in the arts. Kurt and I were talking about this earlier. People don't consider children in a wheelchair capable of painting or singing or dancing, and they are. If they have the opportunity, they can do anything that any other child can do. So that's how we connected.
And we have a wonderful video that we'd like to let people watch, and then we'll talk about that video and all the wonderful things that the two of you are collaborating on. So let's watch that video.
I'm here today to speak with you about a wonderful, wonderful foundation, the Teresa Foundation. It was founded in 1990 by Susan and Vincent Russo, the parents of a beautiful, beautiful child named Teresa, who passed away at the age of 5.5 from multiple disabilities. 3 years after the foundation was started, we began the annual Teresa Awards. This is an organization that serves the national needs of children with disabilities, but what makes it very exciting is its uniqueness. This foundation helps give grants to children with disabilities in the areas of art, music, dance, recreation. You'll also have here today a marvelous man named Kurt Murgo, who is the Director of Special Education at United Cerebral Palsy of Roosevelt. There is where something very special is happening. The Teresa Fun Place, sponsored by the Teresa Foundation, will have its place. It'll be a playground and a place of fun and recreation for children with disabilities.
I'd like to welcome you today to Teresa's Fun Place. We are standing at the beginning of our playground, and I'd like to talk a little bit about how we were able to develop and improve on our playground facilities. About 3 years ago, we received a generous foundation grant from the Teresa Russo Foundation, and we had a vision that we wanted our playground to be used by all the children in our school. We have children that are 2 years old and children that are 21 years old. Some of them are running around, they're talking about SpongeBob, and other children need lots of help to do some of the simple tasks that we do every day. And our playground had some of the facilities to address all the needs of our children, but like anything else, we needed more equipment, we needed to renovate, we needed to purchase some of the newer items that were coming out, and the Teresa Russo Foundation was generous enough to allow us to do that. Our playground happily now is available to all of our children. We have equipment that they can use, swings, we have a wheelchair swing, we have all kinds of pieces of equipment where the kids can rock and turn, they can play on different areas that make it available to everyone in our school. One of the wonderful things about our school is the staff that we have, and our staff are just incredible. They're hardworking, they do a good job, the kids learn, they love being here, they're safe here, they're happy here. And one of our staff members, Cindy Saffron, is a teacher who works in our early language enhancement classroom. She's a marvelous teacher.
Here at United Cerebral Palsy, we have a very diverse population of children. All the students love to come outside and play. The playground is a great outlet for them. They go on the swings, they love to go on the slides. We have wheelchair swings for children who can't come out of their wheelchairs. We have bucket swings for children who can't hold up their bodies but yet love to feel the air in their faces and love to go high and the exhilaration of being on the swings. We have a little tyke center that we put in for our students who are 2 to 5 years old. They love to go on the cars. The assistants here are a great help, and they put them in them. Even the children in the wheelchairs can come out and can sit in them and be pushed around. We have rubber surfaces. As you can see back here, we have children that are going around on a unit where you can put children who can walk and children who can't walk, and they can play together. It's a great place to socialize. It's a great place to let out energy and to express themselves. As a teacher, I bring them out here every day for at least a half hour to get them out of the classroom and let them just be free and have fun.
The playground just means so much to them, and as you can see, it's not just a place where kids will play, they're learning. When the weather's nice, the teachers will do activities outside, academic activities and social activities, and many of our PTs will work with the children out here as well.
Good, again. 1, 2, 3, 4, come on.
I would just like to say thank you so much to the Teresa Russo Foundation and all our benefactors that make this possible.
What a great video.
Oh.
Kurt, how many years have you been working in that school?
I've been working 23 years.
23 years. What
Yeah.
keeps you going for 23 years in such a demanding job?
One thing I've always liked about the Children's Learning Center is I've always had an opportunity to do different things and new things. It's a organization that is so child and family centered that they will be open-minded about things to do. And I've had an opportunity not only to teach, but to run a father's group for 10 years, to really try different techniques and methods in my classroom. And so there was always something over the horizon that I don't find in every place. And there was a lot of support to do that. So that was great. And I just saw a little girl, Karis, and at the end of the video, and every day I see her, and she just makes me laugh. She comes over, she talks to me, she plays with me, keeps me going.
That's great. So what keeps you going? Besides, I know you want to continue to celebrate your daughter's life, but I mean, it's hard raising lots of money every year.
It is. It's another full-time job, but it's worth it when you can sit down with the board of directors and look at the different grant requests that come in, and you're able to give all that hard-earned money away and know that the kids like Paris are going to be laughing and being able to participate in a program like 99 Drums, or there's another program we support. SUNY Brockport sponsors Camp Abilities. It's a summer camp for children who are blind, and just to be able to know that 5 more campers can go and enjoy that camping experience, it's rewarding. It really makes it all worthwhile.
Your greatest challenge, both administratively and as a teacher who is concerned about kids with special needs, what do you see?
I think a school should, first of all, teach children and make sure that they learn. But I think our school does more than that. It provides normalized activities throughout the school day. We have Wheatley High School there at our school today doing a carnival. And then our adult students will go to Wheatley and do something for their school. We'll collaborate. We always do a tit for tat. We have Boy Scouts, we have Girl Scouts, we have a chorus with children as young as 3 and as old, young adults as old as 21.
And the 2 programs that you just started.
Yeah, there was a young man that teenagers are teenagers. I have an 18-year-old, and some of the things he tells me, I forget I was 18. And but there's lots of insecurities and lots of things that come up. Our physical education teacher just asked if he could start a sports club about a year ago, about 8-9 months ago, and it was really to just build up the self-esteem of some of our teenage students. And they get off the bus now, and it's Tuesday, sports club day, and they set their own goals, and they're working out.
That's great.
And I got to just keep reminding them to be themselves, and macho's not necessarily it. But 2 weeks ago, we started another club for some of our teenage girls, and it's called the Dance Team, and it's basically some individual and group skill and drill activities. They're using pom-poms. And I remember one little girl, a young lady, she's about 12, I was trying to encourage her to go and participate, and she looked at me and she said, "I can't do it." And that really gave me goosebumps and got me upset, and that's why we need the dance team, and now she's going to be great. One of the girls came by my office yesterday. I was walking. They've had 2 practices and asked for the pom-poms to work out in OT. So this is the kind of thing that our school provides to the children.
Great. We're going to take a break, and we'll come right back, and I want to thank both of you for taking time for joining us today.
Thank you.
Stay tuned, and we'll be right back. Life can really be tough. How about a smile? Kindness begins with you. The next time you get stuck in traffic, don't blast your horn. Kindness begins with you. Welcome back to Making a Difference. Today we've been talking about a wonderful foundation and a wonderful school, both of which are committed to really celebrating the best that our children have and helping all of our children, no matter what their human circumstance, to feel like they're no different than any other kid in the neighborhood. So we want to welcome Susan Russo, the founder of, or one of the founders, co-founders of the Teresa Foundation, Kurt Murgo, who is the assistant, one of the assistant principals, but really the hands-on guy, one of the many great staff people at the Learning Center for Cerebral Palsy, and now whom I'm told is the person behind the scenes who makes all wonderful things happen, Pat Quinn. Pat, I want to welcome you and thank you. I know you're very busy.
Oh, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
And I think, Pat, probably will put you on the hot seat first, since our other two guests have already had a chance to share.
Okay.
But as the person who has the challenge in this day and age of trying to raise funds for such a wonderful, wonderful opportunity for children, what do you see as your greatest challenge as the development person at the Learning Center?
Well, I'm one of a number of people that work in development, but it's difficult because there are so many good causes out there. But we all feel so strongly about United Cerebral Palsy and the great work that's done there. And I feel each day we are truly inspired on a daily basis, so it makes doing our jobs a lot easier. I see the great work that's done at the Children's Learning Center each day. We also have programs for adults. We have residences in the community. And it's just such great work being done that I'm proud to be a part of it, and I'm happy to do anything I can to help raise funds. And I think we all feel so strongly about it that when we go out to talk to others, hopefully that inspires others to give. And we're being pretty successful. And we're very grateful to people like Susan that they choose our organization to give money to, because there's many organizations out there doing good work, but we're happy that we've been selected. The playground is such a fabulous place. We're so proud to have it.
That's great. Susan, you recently had your annual fundraising dinner, and you mentioned at the break that it was your largest dinner to date. And at that dinner, a very special young man was honored. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about him.
Scott Pollock was born with no arms. It was a complete surprise to his parents. And the spirit of this young child is amazing. Did not get to meet him personally. I've just watched and gotten to know his parents. I've watched films and listened to his friends and family talk about him. He was cheerful, intelligent, articulate, never let anything be an obstacle to him. Scott was an amazing basketball player. He went to school at Henry Viscardi and was one of the top players on their basketball team there. And if you watch footage of Scotty playing ball, he was a serious athlete. Mm-hmm. He could take that ball down the court. He steered his wheelchair with his left foot, and he dribbled with his right foot, and it's just amazing to watch him. And he's going to be missed by a lot of people. His parents have started a foundation, and his nickname is Bubba. His baby sister gave him that. His older sister gave him that nickname, called the Bubba Fund. And one of Scott's dreams was to have a wheelchair basketball league on Long Island. The chairs are very expensive. They need places to practice. So I think that will probably be one of the main focuses of the Bubba Fund. And you'll have to get to know Maddie and Scott and Lauren Pollock. They're a very, very amazing family. This is just a light that shines when you speak to them.
That's great.
And so we're pleased to honor Scotty. And
when did Scotty pass away?
December.
Of this past year?
Yes. It's about probably, it's interesting. Maddie, Scotty's mom, and I were talking about how Scott's up in heaven teaching Teresa how to play basketball right now. They probably passed away about a week apart from each other. both passed away in December.
And Scotty was how old?
I believe he was 16, almost 17. So
And the goal of the dinner that you have each year?
it's our major fundraiser of the year, and from that, the funds raised from that, we are able to give grants to different organizations such as the Children's Learning Center. Not only in New York, we have given funds to other programs in other states, as well as a parish in Africa who has a lot of children with disabilities, and people don't know about that because in Ghana it's considered a sin. You must have done something wrong to have a child with this, so they hide the children. So my friend, who's a priest there, is finding these children, and through a grant from the foundation, we're paying for their tuition so that they can attend school. As if they don't have an education, they won't be able to support themselves.
Right.
So that's one of the examples of where the funding goes. So it's
That's
a pleasure.
great.
It's a privilege.
That's
It's
wonderful.
special.
Kurt, as a special education teacher who has spent his professional life working with students with special needs, what would you say to parents that might be watching, that might be really struggling with trying to put together support services or the kinds of services that the kinds of students that come your way really do need?
I would say, first of all, that there's lots of help. Have hope. Don't give up. Sometimes negotiating the system and preschool or school age meetings and programs can be a little daunting, but there is help out there. There's lots of things that are available. I have a brother who, I lost a nephew Sunday. He had muscular dystrophy, Duchenne's, and he was 13. And I've been spending a lot of time talking to my brother. And one thing he said to me was, you know, my 80% of my life was wrapped around Christopher. What am I going to do now? So I would say to families, one thing that I know is very, very important is as you're negotiating this very difficult situation, but also Christopher was a great guy who liked to do cartoons. I have nothing but good memories of him, is to spend time for yourself. Make yourself strong. I'll be Kurt instead of an assistant principal and say spend time with God, spend time with your spouse, and together you'll be strong enough to do whatever you need to do. But go out. Do what you need to do it for your children, but make sure that you take care of yourself. It makes things much, much better.
Great. Mrs. Quinn, as the one of the development persons for cerebral palsy, and obviously someone who's been committed to that effort for more than a dozen years, what would you say to people that might be watching, you know, in terms of supporting concerns in our larger community that are important?
I would say that make an effort to do that, whether financially or with your time and your talent, because it adds so much to your life. It's very rewarding. There's a lot of need out there. We always need volunteers at United Cerebral Palsy of Nassau, but so many organizations need help. And I think that by giving of yourself to these different organizations, it helps make you a better person. I feel that my job there has been a gift and a blessing to me. It's helped me grow as a person, and the opportunity to work with people who have disabilities or to meet with their families who have challenges in their life but remain strong and brave and happy can only make your life that much better. So I recommend that everybody get involved as much as they can.
And if people want to make a monetary donation specifically to cerebral palsy, it's also important that they know that the monies that they do contribute will go directly to support places like the Learning Center, and that it won't get lost.
We're very proud of the fact that I believe it's 90 cents of every dollar that's donated to us goes directly towards programs and services, and that's a very high ratio compared to other charities.
Absolutely.
So we are,
That's
you know, we're
wonderful.
very
and that's
proud
good
of
for
that.
people to hear that, because I know we have some very selective viewers that want to know that what they're giving is going to go directly to support the efforts
Yes, it does.
of people like the three of you. Unfortunately, we've run out of time again, and I want to thank you, Sue Russo, for
Thank you,
sharing
Father.
and for having the courage to start the Teresa Foundation and for all the good work that you're doing, not just for here in Nassau County and in Suffolk, but for around the world, obviously, now with your outreach. And
Thank you.
Kurt, thanks for being a wonderful reminder to all of us who are teachers of what teaching is really about and inspiring us. And Mrs. Quinn, congratulations on the great things you're doing with your boys
you.
and their pursuits, but thank you
Thank
also
you.
for your enthusiasm, because development, as someone who deals with that myself and having to raise lots of money, hard job, and to see someone so enthusiastic encourages me to say, after 27 years, I can continue the journey. So
Thank you so
I
much. It's a
thank you.
pleasure. Thanks.
Contact information about these wonderful organizations will be displayed at the end of our program. In my opinion, as we've listened to three very inspirational persons, people who have reminded us that all life is sacred and a wonderful gift, I ask you to really think about the relationships in your own life. Think about what you're doing with your time, your talent, and your treasure. And maybe think about supporting the Learning Center and the Teresa Foundation, because they're clearly making a difference for so many. In closing, let me invite you to nominate someone in your community like Susan Russo, like Kurt Murgo, Pat Quinn, all people making a difference. You can write to me at Telecare Making a Difference with Father Frank, P.O. Box 158, Uniondale, New York, 11553. You can also access Telecare's website for further information and links to the Diocese of Rockville Center and all of our wonderful ministries and parishes at www.telecaretv.org. And as we take leave today, remember each and every one of you can make a difference that truly counts. I blotched that. Anyhow, thanks for making a difference.